Hello friends, my name is Isabella. Today we are recapping the Netflix series 1899, episode 7, so let's start the video. The 7th episode opens with Daniel having a vivid memory of himself and Maura. In the memory, Daniel and Maura sleep together, and then they talk for a while before Maura gets up from the bed and walks out of the door. Suddenly, a siren goes off with a woman over a PA saying that a shutdown is in progress. Daniel then goes out the same door Maura went through to search for her. When he walks out the door, he finds himself in a strange place with a large house in the distance. He finds Maura's shirt on the ground and then looks towards the house while calling out her name. Then, it cuts to Daniel lying on the floor in a room in the mental hospital with Maura's voiceover telling him to wake up. He wakes up and bangs on the door to get Maura's attention, but Maura leaves him trapped in the room and makes her way back to the Kerberos. Back on the ship, it's raining hard, and the ship is close to capsizing. The passengers scramble to find Ike so that he can steer the ship. While they go on a search for Ike, Virginia notices that one of her hands is completely black. Elsewhere, Daniel finds a way to escape from the mental hospital. First, he goes to a window and sees that the ship's hull is blocking the view. He then finds an object in the room to crack it open. Once Daniel cracks open the ship's hull, he sees a bunch of wires. Then, he makes his way through the cables to another strange place. He finds a rosary necklace on the ground and then goes inside a well. Meanwhile, Henry watches him and other passengers on TV screens from a secret location. Back on the Kerberos, the first mate uses a device to try to find the boy's location. At the top of the device, it has a timer indicating that something is about to shut down. Remember earlier in the episode when a woman on the PA system says a shutdown is in progress? Apparently, it's a shutdown on the ship. While the first mate is messing with a device, the passengers are somewhere else on the vessel, afraid they will die. Maura makes her way to Daniel's room and finds a shaft under his bed. As she exits the shaft, she finds herself in a room with a bed and pictures of her, Daniel, and the boy. Elsewhere, Daniel finally makes it to a place where there's a burial site. He opens a coffin and hops in to find the boy. The boy asks Daniel if he's found a code and Maura. Daniel shakes his head and tells the boy that Maura still doesn't remember. But Daniel reassures him they'll get Maura out so she can end the loop for good. The boy gives Daniel a gold ring before Daniel makes his exit. On the Kerberos, the first mate finally tracks the boy's location and sends a message to Henry on the device. Meanwhile, Daniel finds Maura and explains to her what's going on. He tells her they're all trapped in a simulation and that she must wake up, or her consciousness will be trapped inside the simulation forever. He also tells her that the little boy is their son and his name is Elliot. Suddenly, a siren goes off, signifying the timer is reaching its end. Daniel tells Maura that they need to hurry up before something restarts. Later, Daniel explains to Maura that the simulation will shut down soon, so they need to find a code. The code will get them out of the simulation, but only Maura knows what the code is, and she made herself forget where she put it. Eventually, she thinks of her gold necklace in her pocket and opens it to find a key. Maura isn't sure if it's the code, but she and Daniel decide to try it out later. Then, they make their way to the room with the first mate's device. Daniel types in a code on the device so they can buy more time on the ship before everything restarts. Then, he explains to Maura how they're caught in a loop of simulations that each last for 8 days before the entire process resets. After his explanation, they leave the room to find Elliot. Elsewhere on the ship, passengers start dying. Oleg dies from being washed away by the rain into the ocean. Lucian dies from a seizure. A large object falls on Angel in the engine room, and Franz, Ivan, and Anker drown. The first mate brings Elliot to Henry, and then Henry speaks over a PA system to get Maura's attention. He tells Maura to bring the key to him, and in return, he'll hand over Elliot. Daniel gives Maura the gold ring and tells her he'll fix everything before leaving. The timer reaches 0, and the shutdown begins on the ship. The Kerberos goes into a whirlpool and emerges in the shipyard where Ike is on the Prometheus. The episode ends with Ike staring from afar at the remaining passengers on the Kerberos. Thanks for watching this video and I will see you later with the next episode of this series.